Guys, let's go to the garden. So Team Explorers, we are already here at the Nairobi Botanic Garden. I'm told it has over 600 species of plants collected from across every region of Kenya. Pretty sure it's an amazing place to come and explore and learn so much about trees and everything. So for us to understand further, I'm going to be joined by Dr. Mbuni, daktari wa miti, si miti shamba, lakini daktari wa miti, and he's going to, give us an insight of what this garden is all about, how do you get access to this, and everything, because it's amazing to learn about culture. Daktari, jambo jambo.
Thank you very much.
How are you today?
I'm very fine.
Yes. Tell us about Nairobi Botanic Garden.
Nairobi Botanic Garden started in 1990.
Yeah.
It was established so that we can be able to have studies, taxonomic studies. We can be able to have research. We can be able to have conservation. We can be able to have education to our universities, to our students from high school. We can be able to have here in the Botanic Garden aesthetic, and we can be able to have recreational activities here in the garden.
Amazing. So it's pretty extensive, and I'm pretty sure once you come here, you're gonna learn so much. And Team Explorers, this is the day we are going to learn so much about trees. So let's actually head directly to the Nairobi Botanic Garden. Right from atop here, I can already feel the ambience. I can see some water there. We have water plants, semi-arid plants and everything.
Yes, as you go in the nature trail, you can be able to experience that we have the water plants. We have plants collected from all over Kenya, the succulent plants, the wooded plants, and you can be able to experience so many plants, including medicinal plants.
Wonderful. Let's just go ahead and perhaps categorize or give us the different kind of species that I am expecting to see, during this nature trail.
Now, the plants that we have here in the garden are many, about 600 all over, and about over that.
Yeah.
We have medicinal plants. We have plants that can be able to be used for construction. We have endemic, endangered, and rare species that have been collected from all over East Africa. Right
from coast region to the dry and semi-arid areas.
Yes.
Oh wow, wonderful. What is the opening time of the garden?
We usually open at 8 a.m. and close at 5 p.m. free of charge.
Free of charge.
Yes.
Team Explorers, this is free of charge. I think this is the best class you're gonna take when when you want to learn about plants, when you want to have even a further understanding. Yeah. For how long have you worked here yourself?
I've worked here for about 14 years.
Wonderful. We are here at the main entry of the Botanic Garden. I could perhaps ask our cameraman to just let's see over the shoulder what we are seeing, because it's such a beautiful scenery, so therapeutic, so inviting. Are we allowed to have picnics in here?
Yes, that is the nature of the Botanic Garden. And here we are at the Memorial Garden.
Yeah.
And here the Memorial Garden, it commemorates what our soldiers did in World War II. So we have structured, we have planted plants here which have good aroma, that is especially from the Lamiaceae family. And these plants, if you come here, you can be able to enjoy all the good flowers and the smell that the plants can be able to give.
Amazing. Which plant is this that I'm plucking? So natural.
This is from Lamiaceae family.
Lamiaceae family, you could at least expound further. I'm sort of plotting, so are the explorers.
So plants, we have different families, and what we have like here, most of the plants that produce the smell are from the Lamiaceae family.
It's so refreshing, very therapeutic. Rest assured, when you come around here, you're going to get one with nature, no lie, because listen, you can already see it for yourself. When I visit the park, what are the do's and don'ts while I'm here?
When you are here, we anticipate and we allow you to maneuver around, enjoy, but you don't carry plastics. What we have done, as you
Yeah.
can be able to see
They
here,
are labeled.
we have tried to label most of the plants.
Yeah.
And the labeling of the plants, we have given the common name, we have given the indigenous name, we have given the family, we have given the habitat where this plant can be able to be found, we have given the uses, and we have given even the status of this plant. So as you move around, you can be able to do your studies alone.
Ah, oh, okay. Very impressive. So where are we standing?
Where we are standing right away now is at the amphitheater in the Botanic Garden.
Okay.
Yes.
And I understand you have two of these.
Yes, we have the main one, and this is in the Botanic Garden.
So this is where people come and get insights about trees and get to learn and get one with nature.
Now, for those ones who want to learn, for those ones who want to have more studies,
Yeah.
this is where they can come, relax, and have the conversation about plants.
It's truly relaxing because from here we can see the Nairobi River just passing behind the amphitheater.
Yes.
How therapeutic is that? And just allow us to mention that just across it is the Michuki Garden. So guys, nature is extensive, right from the Nairobi National Museum, that is the Botanic Garden, and extensively to the Michuki Gardens. I mean, so much to experience here.
Yes. As I said earlier,
Yeah.
this amphitheater, which is next to Nairobi River,
Yep.
this is where you can be able to keep on having even the waterfall of the river, and that sound can keep on refreshing you.
Absolutely, we can feel it, and Team Explorers can too if we just give them a moment of silence. So Team Explorers, we are actually on our way to spot an indigenous tree. So let's go down this nature trail together.
This is Cycad Garden, and in this Cycad Garden, this is where we are showcasing some of the cycad plants that have stayed the longest in the world. And as a result, when students come here, they can be able to have a feel and study about the cycad plants. That's why we have created this garden of cycads.
Wow, wonderful.
And next to the cycads, we have sculptures. And the sculptures that we have stone sculptures, and we have wooded sculptures. Wooded sculptures are as a result of the wood plants that were mature, they fell down, and instead of them rotting, we came up with the sculptures. And the stone sculptures, you can be able to see, they have that structure that can be able to communicate to you once you are around in the garden.
That is very thoughtful of converting the trees into sculptures, part of taking care of nature. I like that.
Finally, we are here at one of the indigenous plants that we have in the garden. And this is Gigasiphon microsiphon, which is an endangered plant which is at the coastal region. And this plant can be able to be found in Kenya and part of Tanzania. It can be able to do well where we have a moist and warm climatic condition.
Okay.
But here we have planted it since it is endangered species.
I see. And the leaves don't get green. It's the rainy season, and we are seeing the color is different from all the other, leaves.
As you can be able to see on the ground,
Yeah.
it had shed all the leaves.
Oh,
Because one of these plants, some of these plants, they sense the climate. So before it started raining, they had to shed all the leaves to usher in the new leaves. That's why you can be able to see a different color of the leaves as compared to the rest of the plants.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Team Explorers, I think there's quite extensive to learn about indigenous trees, water trees, and every type of tree and plant around. But the best way to learn, Daktari says you visit the Botanic Garden, which is free.
Yeah.
And open from 8 a.m.
To 5 p.m.
to 5 p.m. I'm so excited because I'm enjoying the shade of this indigenous tree. And when you come across a beautiful shade, please do sit down and enjoy all its beauty and get in touch with nature. We are going to take a short commercial break. Stick around for Team Explorers, welcome back from the break. We are now here at the Birds of East Africa Nairobi National Museum Gallery. It is here that you are going to learn everything birds, right from the most primitive bird, that is the ostrich, to the most advanced bird. And I'm told East Africa is the world's richest region when it comes to species of birds, with over 1,300 species. You know what, I even don't know so much about it myself. That is why we are joined by Dr. Titus to tell us exactly how, how they got all these species, how they preserve them, and what's in here whenever you come to visit. Daktari, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
If you're a bird, which bird would you be?
Oh, I like almost all birds, but probably starlings are good.
For you is starling, and for me, if you're to give me a bird name, which one would it be?
I think I'll give you a guinea fowl.
From the way I'm dressed?
The way you're dressed. It's called kanga. And what you're putting on is like a kanga or leso that you normally call kanga. So I'll give you a kanga.
Absolutely. I'll take it because I also find them pretty beautiful. Amazing. Now into the subject of today, that is species, 1,300 species here. All these birds have been collected across East Africa.
All birds in this gallery have been collected across East Africa. Okay. And as you can see, there are some labels showing different countries that have come from. And in most cases, within the major 3 East African countries, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, and probably some from Somalia and Sudan and so on.
Is it possible to tell of the 3 countries, in East Africa, which one has the most birds?
Oh, I'll come back to my country, Kenya.
Yeah.
Because among these over 1,300 species in East Africa, Kenya has 1,100 species, maybe, and above, 1,100 species. So our species richness is so high. This is because of different habitats we have in the country, ranging from all the way from mountains. We've got the mountain forests, we've got the tropical lowland forests, we've got the coastal forests at the Arabuko Sokoke at the coast, and we've got savannas, we've got wetlands and different wetlands. We've got all from the shores of Indian Ocean to the Rift Valley lakes. All these produce a lot of species. To all the savannas that we know across the country, they produce a lot of diversity of species in the country.
All right, and upon visiting here, that's exactly what I'll see?
Visiting here, actually, most of the visitors, tourists who are bird watchers, most of them visit this gallery because they want to see what they have seen in the field or what they want to go and see in the field. So it's one of the most diverse setting or a gallery I've ever seen displayed with the birds like this one, actually in Africa or in East Africa.
It actually looks beautiful just, from face value, and I like how you've incorporated the nesting and the eggs and everything to just show the natural habitat. Now, extensively, what more should someone expect to see, when they come here as a bird watcher and just as a regular visitor?
As a bird watcher and as a regular visitor, you expect to see a lot of because we take this gallery as a tourism, most of the tourism aspect of this National Museum, because many people come here. So what they want to see, first of all, they want to see the diversity, diversity of these species. Some of them they will not have seen while they were on the safaris. They also want to see some unique things like conservation aspect of birds in East Africa or in Kenya. And here is where you can find things like endangered species Or for example, vultures are one of the vultures. Our vultures are some of the very endangered species in the wild, and this is why you can see them well displayed. You want to see some of the icons of the country, for example, the flamingos. When you talk of icons and birds, people want to see to go to Lake Bogoria or want to go to Lake Nakuru. And what do they want to see? They want to see the flamingos, among other very beautiful large congregatory species of birds, especially for tourism.
I like that. And talking of uniqueness, you know, you could perhaps highlight some of the unique birds someone will come across, and also some of the common birds that you could see here.
Some of the unique birds, probably Kenya being within the East Africa, we are so blessed with them. Besides just our indigenous birds here, some birds come from Europe and Asia every year to visit our country, especially when it's winter in Europe, they come and winter here. And then when it's after winter, they leave back. And there's a lot of species that makes some of these 1,300 species, of, which maybe have maybe 1,700 species. Not 1,700 species, 170 species that migrate all the way from Europe to Asia to come every year to come and winter here. And it's because of the habitats we have. We have other uniqueness, as I have mentioned, in terms of the species that probably may not be seen in Kenya when you are here, and they'll be seen in those other 3 countries or other 4 countries. So these maps showing all where these birds are found, where you can all find all these birds here in this gallery. So it's whether you've not been able to go to Congo or you've not been able to go to Tanzania, but you have just been in Kenya for 2 weeks, this is where you want to come and see some of the species you would expect, because it's called East Africa. Yeah. I've seen in other East African countries.
I see. And with all those species, I mean, is there any left in the world that is not here?
Of course, there are some birds that are in the world that are not here. Not everything that is in the world that is here.
I was just imagining with how vast it is. I mean, probably you would have captured all the birds, but yeah, you go ahead.
Not really all the birds. So these are the birds that were preserved in those many years. Yeah. And as you can see, they look real. Actually, they are real because they have been preserved. The inside body has been taken out, and they have been mounted to look like the real, true birds in the wild. And that's why they show the real kind of texture, real kind of like when you look at the feathers, when you look at the plumage, the morphology, the preservation that has been done here has been taken to that step of making sure that they look real, so that attraction is what it looks like real in the wild.
Absolutely, they look and feel real. So Daktari, with the vast knowledge that you have, you know, about birds, for how long have you worked here, and what has been your personal experience interacting with these birds?
Actually, I must say I've been so lucky to work in the National Museums of Kenya, where I've lived to learn a lot about birds and nature. I've worked here for more than 20 years. Okay. And my experience has been that I have worked within, because beside the gallery, we've got an ornithological collection whereby we do research and science, research and monitoring, and we have all the information about now Kenya and her birds diversity, where you can visit if you want more information. And that's why we do a lot of things. We also have just skins like this, but they have been preserved like in a mortuary, like in showcases, which you can pull and learn more about it. So learning about that and going to the field and coming to help in this gallery to maintain it the way it is, it has been one of my best experience and knowledge gathering area, where I've been able to learn a lot.
Absolutely. And as we finish, just one last question. When is the best season? You know, I'm learning myself. When is the best season to go for bird watching?
The best season to go for bird watching, that's interesting. The best season to go for bird watching is when there are no rains. Okay. Because during rainy season, it can become a problem. But especially, let's say somewhere around December, November, October, it's not only just rainy season, but it's also time for bird migration. That's the time the birds are coming from Europe to Africa. So those are the best times you can learn about birds. You can go bird watching, and so on.
All right, Team Explorers, you heard it and you have learned the best season to go for bird watching. But not to worry, if you cannot make it other time, you can of course come here and Dr. Titus here will be glad to take you through. At this point, we are going back to where this show started. So let's fly away. So Team Explorers, we finally made our way back to where it all began. We started the show with me holding a calabash, but we are winding the show with me holding yet another calabash, but this time round with pretty unique features. Actually not pretty, but very unique features. Like this one, I'm told, is the story of Jesus and his birth, and you can just see it for yourself and get to understand this biblical story. This is Crafts Caravan, the people who dressed me from the previous show and today's show. And of course, we've talked about the history and the culture of Kenya. And right here, this shop practically summarizes everything that we've seen and everything that you could learn about, you know, the culture of Kenya and I think by extensive East Africa. We are joined by the project manager here, and I will let her introduce herself and tell us, you know, how it feels working in this cultural environment every other day. Yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Edith Paris, the project manager at Crafts Caravan. We are the ones who craft the soapstone from Kisii and make beautiful items for gift items. We also support other artisans who make different items like the gourd, the clay. We also support the local culture. These are the Turkana culture. These are the clay from the Maasai culture, and it is wonderful. Supporting the Kenyan culture and also advertising it out there, and also working at the museum, the heritage of Africa. It's a wonderful experience.
Amazing. Well put. More reason why this is a hotspot. And of course, by extension, the National Museum of Kenya in itself is a hotspot. And that's what the show, The Hotspot, is all about. Thank you so much for sticking around. Remember, you can check this episode up on our YouTube platform, that is KTN Home. And of course, follow us across all our social media platforms, that is KTN Home _ and follow myself, Eustace Segi, across all platforms. Stick around, let's explore this world together because this is the show meant for it. Until next time, enjoy a blissful